please, also about some organization questions regarding any question about WebEx, please address it to admin. And if there's any question for regarding the presentation, please put them to Q&A window, and all the questions will be answered after presentation. This webinar will be also recorded, so you can find it on our webpage after this webinar at the end of the week. So now let me pass the word to Daniel from Traco to share his presentation. Daniel, can we hear each other?
Yes, I do hear you.
Okay, so I will pass the right and please start your presentation.
So thank you very much, Miriama.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So then let's start. Hello everybody, and thank you for giving me the chance to present our company to you and to your interest. So this company will be a brief introduction about the company and mainly about the product. So it will roughly take a half an hour. So to start with the company itself, this is a Swiss company called Traco Electronic Company Limited, and it's a Swiss company with more than 30 years of experience for high quality power conversion products, such as DC-DC converters and AC-DC power supplies. We are marketing our products worldwide under the registered trademark Traco Power. The design of Traco Power products is done by our subsidiary Convertech in Ireland and directly at the production sites in China, Germany, Japan, and Taiwan. The Traco Power products are sold in Germany through our subsidiary Traco Electronic GmbH in Germany. In the rest of the world, we have an established distributor network with more than 50 distributors in 43 different countries. One key factor is the high stock availability for the majority of Traco Power products, which are stored in our central warehouse in Switzerland. Traco's commitment to quality is supported by a full 3-year product warranty. The Traco Power product portfolio is split into 2 product categories, where DC-DC converters are the major and AC-DC power supplies are the minor part. We have divided them into 6 different product segments. For DC-DC converters, these are low power, 1 to 6 watt, medium power, 8 to 60 watt, high power, 75 to 240 watt. And for AC-DC power supplies, these are encapsulated modules from 2 to 100 watt, universal power supplies such as open frame and metal enclosure from 16 to 1000 watt, and in-rail power supplies from 15 to 960 watt. We will now have a look to each segment, one slide, and with closer information for low power DC-DC converters, which are so-called commodities and are most challenged by price, as many equivalent competition models are existing, even though our intention is to provide a complete offer and being competitive. For non-isolated DC-DC converters, we have solutions from 0.5 ampere to 30 ampere. These step-down switching regulators are designed for a specific current and various voltages. This is why values are specified in ampere and not in wattage. This is a relatively new group with immediate success. Usually it takes several years that a series is ramping up due to the project progress from evaluation, testing, pre-series and production. But as these 3-pin switching regulators are pin compatible with LM78 and 79 linear regulators and have higher efficiency, less heating, and are smaller in size, sales was rising immediately. Solutions are available from 0.5 ampere to 30 ampere with positive and negative input and output, and are in single inline package and SMD package available. SMD package from 1 to 15 watt. So these surface mount devices are usually used for space critical applications, which are reflow soldered on backside of PCB. For 1 and 2 watt converters, some are unregulated, where already a stable line regulated supply exists. In these cases, products are mainly used to isolate input to the output circuit. DC-DC converters from 3 watt consist only with regulated output, but also for 1 and 2 watt we offer regulated converters. For a single inline and dual inline package from 1 to 6 watt, so we have many options. In single inline package or through-hole soldering, these are in high volume quantities sold. Besides unregulated and regulated, we have an offer on semi-regulated converters, which are ideal if no line but a load regulation is required. On this regulation, I want to give you the differences from each type. So if there is a non-regulated DC-DC converter, these are these need a stable input voltage, and the output would be ratiometric increase or decrease due to the input variation. And then a regulated DC-DC converter has a wide input range and a stable output, so it doesn't matter what within this required input range, what input it has, it still has a regulated output. And then these are the new semi-regulated products. So these have no line regulation, so it needs a stable input line, stable source, but it has an improved load regulation, which helps for a strong load variation. So if the load is, let's say, from 100%, go down to 20%, goes up to 80% load. So this affects as well the regulation of the converter. And if, if no line regulation is needed, but only this load variation wanted to improve, a semi-regulated product, this could be the ideal solution for that. Then regarding to see what product is suitable regarding, let's say, economical or specification. So this is something we try to give you easily a hint by the model and series designation. So many times you see an end, in the end an NE or an N, which the E stands for economical and N stands for new. So for instance, we have recently introduced on the single inline the TMR3 series, which is since many years in the market, but new is then TMR3E. This is an easy identification for you that this is a more economical and new generation update to the existing series. And this is similar with N, with new, which means, okay, there is an existing series. For instance, TN3 is a very popular series, so we will come up soon with TN3N, which easily gives you the hint that this is, let's say, the generation update, the new series, and incompatible with the previous one. We go to medium power from 8 to 60 watt. This is for us so-called high-performance products and are our excellence. A vast portfolio with sophisticated solutions, broad approval and documentation package provide a real advantage and value add to the market. So the DIP, the dual inline package 24 from 8 to 15 watt. This DIP 24 is a popular standard pinout with many different power levels for through-hole mounting. Some of the products have a 2x1 input range, for instance, from 9 to 18 volt. Other series have a 4x1 input, for instance, 9 to 36 volt, and would operate from 12 to with 12 and 24 volt sources. These series with wide input range have a WI suffix in the end and can recognized very easily with the model and series one. With 1 by 1 inch package, which is 10 and even 30 watt available, this square dimension contains series from 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 watt. These power levels require high reliability with valuable specifications and add-ons such as encapsulated shielded metal case, integrated input filter, low input current at no load, high efficiency, remote on-off, and output voltage trim, and much more. Going a little bit higher from 2 inch by 1 inch package from 20 watt to 60 watt. These rectangular isolated DC-DC converters are as well for true hole mounting and on offer for 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 watt. At 20 and 40 watt, we have series which comply to railway standard EN 5155. Important to know is that this standard is used also for other segments in transport and for other sectors where EMC immunity and increased environmental durability is demanded. As you see on this slide, these products, or let's say the power for these products, are going very high. So this is packed in a high power density where we have to consider the heat dissipation and as well the derating, which is mentioned on these on most of the parts. So we do state the operating temperature, but then as well it has a derating sometimes from a lower level. So to explain this a little bit, the opposite of efficiency is power loss, or in other words, it's thermal impedance. This value is stated in data sheet and is the main driver for the derating, as this is calculated from maximum case temperature, which is most important value. As lower power consumption, as lower will be heating up of converter. So derating means derate and ensures the protection of the converter from over temperature. The converter itself creates heat, and as higher ambient temperature, less heat can be dissipated. And consequently, converter would shut down or even fail. So the data sheet indicates ambient and case temperature, thermal impedance, and derating, which must be taken into account while designing the system. Going to next segment, which is high power from 75 to 240 watt, which is relatively a new segment with a very positive market feedback. Our focus is to expand step by step our offer in this segment. On the top, you see this half brick size DC-DC converters, which are for PCB mounting and are available in 75, 100, 160, and 200 watt. Depending on input and output voltage, power of 200 watt converters is varying from 180 to 240. For improved heat dissipation, DC-DC converter can be used in combination with a heat sink. This is what you see on this picture on the right, top right. So the DC and DC-DC converter, which you see in metal and in silver. So on the top is the heat sink for the heat dissipation. In the middle, you have the chassis mount, which have the same technical specification as the ones above, but are mounted on a metal chassis and includes optionally an input filter. The wiring is done via screw terminal block. On the bottom, this is an absolutely new solution to the market and will be available in spring 2014. The high power block features an excellent heat dissipation, and therefore it is possible to operate a 100 watt converter up to 85 degrees without derating. So you can have the full load with 100 watts. So for example, for a 160 watt derating would start about 65, and for 200 watts it would start about 65 degrees. Let's now change to our AC/DC power supplies. So In the segment of encapsulated power modules, has Traco probably the widest range in the market, from 2 to 100 watt, with a wide range of approvals. On the top, you see the PCB mount from 2 to 60 watt. These fully encapsulated power modules are most spread for PCB through-hole mounting. Power supplies are available with single, dual, and triple output models. Chassis mount from 15 to 100 watt. Another offer is for chassis mount with connection possibilities as wireable to screw terminals and fasten pads. On here, I want to mention a specific requirement regarding PFC. So this power factor correction is always a topic, but usually not required for power supplies for the industry, as they have their own PFC compensation locally. So in commercial buildings, there is not such a PFC compensation requirement. So in such installations, above 75 watt, the power supply with passive power factor correction is demanded. So what you see on the right side, this is TML 100C, and this has a passive power factor correction, and this could be installed, for instance, for commercial building. On the bottom, you see that even these chassis mount products can mount as well on DIN rail. Not all of them, but many of them. So they have a dedicated adapter and can be accordingly mounted on DIN rail. To move on universal power supplies from 15 to 1000 watt. These are most challenged by price from Far East manufacturers, even though we still have significant sales and we try to find niches for new products. So these are open frame design from 60 to 200 watt. These open frame power supplies are used to mount into an equipment, and therefore no casing is needed, and are available in single, dual, and triple output models. Enclosed metal casing from 15 to 1000 watt. These power supplies with metal enclosure are available in 18 different power levels from 15 to 1000 watt. So the last segment we have is the DIN rail from 15 to 960 watt. So this is the most sophisticated segment, starting with economical plastic housing, power supplies ranges until high-end battery backup solutions for harsh industrial environment. So the top group is for general purpose from 15 to 480 watts. These power supplies appear mainly with plastic housing due to cost considerations. All products feature convection cooling, which means no fan is needed. Output voltage can be adjusted on front side via potentiometer. The high performance from 70 watts to 960. So these highly reliable power supplies are built with metal housing and are optional, available with ATAX approval for hazardous locations. With add-on function modules, sophisticated requirements can be fulfilled, such as redundancy, battery backup, and buffer. Low profile case from 50 to 600 watt. Built with another form factor to mount as well on DIN rail or optionally with bracket wall mountable. With built-in functions, redundancy, battery controller, and signaling are possible options. So what you see here is not a new segment. This is just a wide offer for high isolation and medical requirements, and this is why we state this to you particularly on one slide. So in this matter, it is important that, let's say, the high isolation includes several aspects, which is isolation voltage reference with time, the isolation system, and accurate approval type regarding requirements. So many times people are misled by not considering all aspects. So there are some manufacturers which state very high voltages, but basically this is not what counts. More important is the standard, which is the EN 6950 and EN 6601, which is the medical and industrial standard. And what is stated there, what are the requirements regarding the standard and from the customer. Because basically it is possible to test any product to any number, to any value, but finally it is more important what it's saying the standard. So this is kind of stackmanship to somehow mislead the customer that they are better than another. So most used are 1500 volt for functional isolation for DC-DC converters, or 3000 volt if there is no prior power supply, which anyway has to comply with 3000 VAC isolation voltage. So important is that you always, if there is any requirement regarding high isolation, that you have all aspects checked with your customer regarding isolation voltage and the time as well. So if there is only a test voltage, which is for 1 second, so most important is usually the withstand, which is tested in the laboratory, which is for 60 seconds. The isolation system, which many times it's functional, but it could as well be a supplementary, reinforced double isolated, so there are many options. And as well the approval types it has to comply with. Another offer where we have, let's say, many products, many new products and a complete, I would say, group of solutions is regarding ruggedized requirements for a harsh industrial environment such as railway, with challenging requirements such as increased conducted and radiated EMC immunity, increased environmental durability like shock, vibration, operating temperature, or as well with high input ranges, so 4x1 input ranges, which includes a high input range from 43 to 160 volts, so for instance for a 110 volt battery. So for these ruggedized requirements, these have the EN 5155 standard, or they comply with the standard, which is for railway. But due to the aspects I have just mentioned to you, this can be as well used for other applications. So as you can see, we have a very complete offer. So starting at 8 watt and going up to 200 watts with all these railway standard EN 5155. So it is available for PCB mount, for chassis mount, and as well for DIN rail mount. So to have a summary of what we have heard now, you can see that we have a comprehensive product portfolio of power conversion products. So mainly for industrial applications. What does that mean, industrial applications? I have the last 2 slides I have showed you that we have for medical requirements, or high isolated, and as well railway or harsh environment. But this is only a part. So we have many more. But it is impossible to just state for this industry or for this market or for this. As we have power conversion products, it has a wide range of uses. So we have an absolute product innovation with many new introductions yearly, and it has, let's say, it is always a challenge for us to have, let's say, the right size and the cost, and in combination with the appropriate reliability to introduce these to the market. Then we have a full commitment to quality with a 3-year product warranty. There are a lot of information available for our product. So we have selection guides, we have brochures, but let's say basically the main information source is our website, which is always updated, where you find detailed product information like data sheets, like application notes, like declarations, like installation guides. You can even search with the product tree on there to select the appropriate product. It is, let's say, updated with a new product introduction that you easily find the newest product on there. Then we have a high stock availability for standard products from our Traco warehouse in Switzerland. And we have a worldwide established distribution network. So what is important here is, for instance, you do a design, but production will be somewhere else, or in the opposite way. So our Traco Power products are sold worldwide through an established and well-established distribution network to get the product wherever it is needed. So then, I want to thank you for your attention and for your interest to learn a little bit more about Traco Power and the company itself. So thank you very much, and I want to pass over again to Miriam.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So we have some questions here. So first question is, we are using TSR3 modules. The price is pretty expensive comparing to TSR1 series. Do you plan to have cheaper module with a 3A output?
Let's say at the moment there is nothing in pipeline, but you also have to compare. If you take the TSR1, which is for 1 ampere, and then the TSR3 for 3 ampere, so this is a triple of the ampere. So this makes it, and the circuitry, it makes it more expensive. But let me take this as a hint for our product management. And so, but let's say the answer is at the moment there is no introduction planned regarding this TSR3.
Okay, thank you. So the second question is, do you plan to have 2 output POL module with, for example, 5 volt and 3.3 volt output at circa 3A output current?
Which was the model of the series you have mentioned?
Excuse me?
Which was the name you have mentioned? The name of the model of the series? POL?
Output POL module. POL. You can read this question in Q&A window.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to check this again.
You can see this question also there.
I'm somehow lost. What do I have to do? Q&A. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Can you see it?
Okay, well, okay. Okay. No, it's basically the same answer. There is, let's say, at the moment, nothing planned, but I like to take these questions to, to introduce this or to forward this to our product management, that this is a requirement. So basically, there will be kind of TSR3 with 3 and 5 volt output, what you require. But let's say basically the solution, it could be done with single TSR1, for instance. So if you share this TSR3, so probably would be possible with existing solutions. But I will take this and forward this to our product management.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so the other question is, could you put the preliminary datasheet for module marked new on your website together with their availability information, for example, TMS B2 series, TMM24 series, TMM40, TMM60, and so on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a good point. What we do usually we take the selection guide and let's say the page per series from the selection guide we do as well put on our website. So let's say the channel specifications can already be seen. The selection guide is a tool to give general information. The data sheet, this is absolute specific reference or the final specifications of the series. The problem of a preliminary is that this will change a lot. So if a customer starts to do a design with a preliminary data sheet, this can cause problems, but it will change, let's say, quite a lot will change. And this could cause problems. This is why we are, let's say, decided not to do preliminary data sheet. But, basically as a general information from the selection guide, this page we do as well publish in our website. And the data sheet itself is available along with the introduction of the series. And if your customer is interested in EMS-E2, this should actually be beginning of 2014. And the TMM looks as well good that this should be about in, let's say, if everything goes fine, in about April or let's say Q2 in 2014.
Okay, thank you. So I have no other question. So I would like to ask if there is any question you can think about it. You can write us email and we will pass it to Daniel and ask. So feel free to ask. If there is anything, Daniel, you would like to add?
No, from my side, I just want to thank you everybody for the interest.
Okay, so I would like to also thank you for your presentation. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, whole video from this webinar will be available on our website, so you can see it. At the end also of this webinar, there is a short survey, and if you will have time and will to fulfill this for us, you can win the DC-DC model from Traco. So for me, there is nothing left to say. Only thank you for your attention, and hope we will see each other on our next webinar, which will continue on next year. So whole list of webinars will be also available on our website. So thank you one more time for your attention, and looking forward to see you on our next webinar. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye, everybody.